September 16th, 2021 of the Chaves County Board of Commissioners. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. All right, let's start with Mike Espiritu from the Chaves County Economic Development. Excuse me, I left out the Roswell Chaves County Economic Development.
It works both ways, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Just a few things to update. We still have a couple projects working with the state and here within the county for some JTIP and LEDA funds. One of them is Calam's, which is the Old Nature's Dairy, those guys, and which is a beef processing folks, and then PVP, which is also in the county, Pecos Valley Production, the cannabis company. Working through the steps to help find some funding for some infrastructure for those companies. We should know something probably in the next 30 days, and we'll let you know. The Send Aviation projects move forward. Can you hear me okay? Okay. The Send Aviation project is moving forward, and I think that we're still on track. Thank you for all your work, commissioners, on your end of it with the city, because together we can hopefully get that project moved forward. On another note, as I mentioned last month, we have a company, another aviation company, that's looking at Roswell Chaves County, very similar to Ascent, something of fairly large magnitude. They have been here for a second site visit. Second site visit brought in a potential partner from Dublin, so he came in from Dublin just to see the Roswell Chaves County area. We had long meetings one day and talked about where they're headed. The company's actually based out of Fort Lauderdale, and as that continues, we'll let you know. You may have heard about the employer workshop that we have tonight, thanks to Lisa Dunlap, the great article in the paper. The issue that we have, as you know, is across the country, across Chaves County, employers are struggling to find staffing. That isn't going to change anytime soon. There's a lot of the dynamics change when it comes to the workforce. Recently, I was at the International Economic Development Annual Conference, and that was the subject: is how do we find different ways to generate a workforce for not only just today but for tomorrow. So we're working on some different areas in that regard, but the biggest for us involves career tech education. I've been working pretty closely with Curtis Clough. He's the new superintendent down in Hagerman. Also with Lake Arthur superintendent as well, Lisa. I can't say her last name very well, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it and butcher it. But I think what I want to share with you is I think we're on this pathway now where the students in our Lower Valley schools will have opportunities for some certification programs that they haven't had before. So we're working towards a partnership with an organization called NCCER, and that organization does construction trades as well as other agricultural trades, agribusiness, and also welding and things of that nature. So to get kids, students certified truly when they leave high school. What's interesting about this is that this is industry driven by industry partners that have created this certification. So these certifications are not just good for New Mexico, they're across the country. They're going to be recognized certifications that meet industry standards. So I look very forward to seeing that come to fruition. So working closely with those folks down in Lower Valley school districts, because those students down there really need to know what's available. And I think if we don't do something today and help those young people grow into to find the skills, then they might leave Chaves County. We want our youth to stay. As you know, a former governor once said that our greatest export is our kids. And what we need to do is continue to find ways that they have jobs and with the skills to cut in those jobs right here in Chaves County. Recently, I mentioned to you that we went to RUB, and you saw the fabric last month. In cooperation with the city, last Thursday night they agreed to purchase a building from RUB, another building, and which is, you probably, if you haven't heard about it, It's about 180 by 120 by 20-something feet high. They already have 2 or 3 tenants that already want to use that facility. So I'm encouraged by the city's attempt to further purchase other resources because we just don't have the inventory capacity at the Air Center to bring companies. It's all about speed of market. If we wait to build something, when a company gets here, we're already late. We're probably 10 to 12 months behind. So if the city can continue that trend to increase the inventory of the Air Center, I'm hopeful that we can help continue to be more attractive to bring companies to Chaves County. And lastly, I was recently asked to sit on the Eastern Area Workforce Development Board. My board of directors approved my attendance on that. I think that's a good thing because we're not represented well in Chaves County. So I'm very hopeful that we can help move the needle forward to create opportunities for the people in our county through the programs they have. I don't know if you know, but there is plans to redistrict those workforce boards and to urban versus rural, just a variety of different things. I understand it's on hold, but the main point I want to share with you is that there's funding available that have been untapped in rural communities across our county, and I'm hoping that we can help use those funds to help our educational community get a stronger foothold and our industry partners. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, that's my report for the month. Thank you so much for your support as always. I stand for your questions.
Commissioners, any questions for Mike? Mike, thank you. I listened to the report, and I know we're witnessing this right now in this country that we have a vaccine mandate, and that's causing our workforce to go down also, whether it's healthcare workers or truckers or whatever that entity is, because they have to get vaccinated. But then what do we do, or how is the federal government going to approach those people that are sitting at home not working, that are collecting the benefit checks for these different things, but there's no mandate on them to get vaccinated to receive those funds from our government? I think that our government has lost their minds, to be honest with you, and be blunt. It's damaging all across this country, whether it's in our imports. We've got ships that are sitting out on the water outside of Long Beach. We have nurses and doctors that are leaving their jobs because they're being forced. The military is being forced. All these people are being forced, but then a large part of the population that aren't getting vaccinated are the ones that are sitting at home playing video games or doing whatever else. It could be a viable part of our workforce, but they're not getting vaccinated. They're not being mandated to be vaccinated, and so it's so ridiculous what is going on in this country. And until we gain some common sense, and I'm not an anti-vaccinated. I mean, I've been vaccinated, but it's a choice. It's a choice that our citizens have to make. And you can't mandate it. You just can't do it. And you can't keep sending out checks to everybody that are sitting at home that are capable and able to work and fill the jobs, but it's not happening. And so I appreciate all the hard work you're doing. All of our businesses are suffering from this. And until we gain some common sense, it's not going to get any better. So keep driving it, keep working it. But there's going to have to be some help from the outside to get our folks back to work. So,
Mr. Chairman, you're correct. I think that one of the greatest challenges in our state, across the country, but especially in our state, is the Workforce Development Department. They've got a lot of challenges. I mean, I would not want to be working in that department today. It would be tough. The workshop we're doing this evening. Well, let me back up a little bit. As you know, we held 2 job fairs already this year. The city held one, and we're going to hold another one in November. But what we did was we sat down and said, well, last 2 job fairs, we really didn't get a lot of folks out. 140, 150 people. I mean, there's a lot more people than that's on unemployment in Chaves County. And they're just not coming out as a job seeker. So what we elected to do was first we talked about a reverse job fair, but this workshop tonight was really about the Workforce Solutions, the current Cabinet Secretary or Interim Secretary Ricky Serna. He'll be down here tonight, and it's all about giving more tools to the employers as they look to hiring people, as well as access to funding that they may not know exists to support their needs to get people back to work. It's a free workshop. We're hosting it. We're having it at the Convention Center from 5 to 7 tonight. If you have time, stop on by. But there's a lot of different pieces to that. And hopefully employers, right now I think we have about 40 employers signed up to be there. So we're going to have food there and what have you. So again, if you would like to be there, please drop on by. We are going to have a job fair in November. It's November 4th. I don't have a time yet, but why are we doing another one? Because working with Workforce Solutions, as you know, you've got two different types of unemployed people. One is the group that's been on unemployment insurance for a number of months, quite a while. Then you have a group that's been on it within the last 6 months or just now have applied for it. The November job fair is to be centered on the ones that were recently receiving funds or about to receive funds, and as a condition of receiving those funds, they have to come to the job fair in November, which means that we'll have hopefully job seekers there, or they won't get the funding. So I'm hopeful that'll work. I'm kind of at wit's end too. Is how do we bring the people in? I mean, you don't hold a job fair or a hiring event or whatever you want to call it, but you've got to find some way to get people to come out because employers are there. When you have 50 employers sitting in a room waiting to hire, it's kind of like fishing, right? They're waiting to hire people. And the biggest travesty is when they offer employment to someone and that someone doesn't show up. And there's a lot of that going on as well. So we will continue working, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, because it's a right thing to do for our people here in Chaves County, our business people that are struggling, and find other creative ways to get that ball moving forward. So thank you for your support in that arena.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate everything you're doing. Miss Andrea, with the Chaves County Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely, because we serve all of the county of Chaves. Thank you for having me here this morning. I'm happy to report that our fall issue of Roswell Now is at the printers, so it should be hitting everybody's doorsteps here pretty quickly. And then we've got a really quick turnaround for our holiday issue that we've kind of transformed, or not kind of, we've really transformed into the program for the Christmas Railway. Jacob Roebuck has approached us and asked if we would partner with him to help with the design and distribution of his program for the railway. And since we had this 5th issue we were obligated to get out this year, we figured what a great way to help the community, and it will reach approximately 10 to 15,000 additional people that are outside of the boundaries of Chaves County. So we're really looking forward to getting that out by Thanksgiving, so that way he's got those programs in hand to pass out during the railway, as well as being mailed out to everybody's doorsteps. We have hired a new gal in the office. Her name is Madeline Jones. She has recently graduated from Brigham Young, and she actually has a degree in copyright, editing, and magazine. She helped develop and execute 2 different magazines while she was in college. She has approached us and said that there were some elements we were missing in our magazine, and she wanted to help out. So at our last board meeting at the Chamber of Commerce, everybody said, get on it, get her, don't let her go. And she has been diligently in the office every day for about the last 3 weeks, really helping us make sure that we are streamlining the magazine going forward. And we are so excited to have her in the office because I've already seen the differences that it's going to make going forward. We have completed our mural on the east side of the building, thanks to Eddie Macias, who helped us paint it. And all he asked in return was for us to pay for the paint so he could come and paint it, so we could just get more activity around the county, around the town, and obviously in our office. And I'm pleased to report that it doesn't matter what time of the day or night, we are starting to see a lot of people come and take pictures of the mural, which then translates to people coming into the office and asking about things to do around Chaves County, what events are going on, what else they can do. And I know of at least 6 to 8 different parties that have come into the Chamber of Commerce that have then secured a hotel to stay overnight because we gave them so many other things to do than just go to the UFO Museum and walk up and down 4 or 5 blocks of Main Street that they didn't realize that we had. We are partnering with Life and Sports, JT, who used to be over at the Roswell Daily Record. He has started his own weekly publication about the local sports in Chaves County, and we are sponsoring the Athlete of the Week, and he is in his 3rd week. This week will be the 4th edition of his paper, so we're helping to find locations for him to get that distributed. I know right now it's at Albertsons, it's at the Farmers Country Market, and a couple of other little locations around town, but he's always looking for other places in the community to get that distributed. So if anybody has any suggestions, let us know, and we'd be happy to pass that on. And with that, and I am sad to report that as of last week, we no longer have recycling in Chaves County. Mr. Woolley came to our office and picked up our bin and said that it's not happening anymore. So we're concerned about what's going to happen at the landfill, and we're starting to get phone calls with people asking where they can now go recycle their items, and unfortunately there's a big hole. So helping to fill that gap or fill that hole is kind of something we're working on as well, because we are feeling it in our office as well. We really got into the habit of making sure we were separating everything, and so now all of that stuff's going to end up in the landfill. And with that, I stand for questions.
Commissioners, any questions for Andrea? I've got a letter here that I want to hand off to you so that you can correspond with this young lady from Waco. I ran into her probably 4 months ago at a restaurant in Ruidoso, and I kind of overheard their conversations and gave her my commissioner card and kind of contact me if you ever have any recommendations for how we can improve our tourism in the city of Roswell. So she sent me a letter, and it's really not giving me recommendations, but it was apologizing for disparaging the city of Roswell. And so I didn't have a chance, but I think if she knew the opportunities that we have here in Chaves County, the museums that we have here in Roswell, the bottomless lakes, Bitter Lakes, all the things that we have opportunities to look at versus just UFO stuff, I think she would appreciate that. So if you
we'd be more than happy to
correspond
send
with
her
that would
a
be
packet of all the wonderful things we've got going on.
great. Right. So anyway, thank you for all you're doing for Chaves County and the city of Roswell. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Okay, Commissioners, real quick, Charlotte, our county treasurer, wanted to give us an update on something, so I'd like to have her come up and speak to us before we get started.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Just 3 things briefly. First off, the tax sale that we had scheduled for November 18th has been canceled. I did speak to the Property Tax Division Director this morning, and he advised that they were still having some issues with the new axiomatic system, and until that's resolved, he would be canceling all of the auctions throughout the state and then rescheduling at a later time. So we had approximately 10 accounts that were going to be auctioned off on that date, and that will be rescheduled for another date. Also, since we do have the delayed tax bill process this year, we have been taking advantage of the time this month and working in tandem with the assessor's office to go out and tag mobile homes. We have approximately 200 mobile homes that are delinquent, that remain delinquent. We have some of the mobile homes that are running 10 years delinquent. And as you know, every 10 years, that 10-year amount falls off the tax roll by statute. It does fall off. So we are trying, or doing our best to bring those accounts current. I think we have reached the point where we may potentially have to schedule a mobile home auction. I know there has been some hesitation on doing that because, you would be basically taking someone out of their home. But when the tax process has been deliberately taken advantage for, over 10 years, it's time that we do something. I know a lot of the other counties are working towards conducting the mobile home auctions, and I think that's one of the things that Chaves County may be forced to move towards. And then lastly, we do have about 16 bankruptcy accounts that the Treasurer's Office does process. And both Sandra Stewart, the assessor, and I are concurred that we think that should be handled by the county attorney. We did have a phone conference with Stan yesterday on one particular account, and to the tune of $300,000. My staff does everything they can to keep, abreast of all of the filings that are received. However, we are not in that legal realm, so we are looking at perhaps passing on the bankruptcies to the county attorney and let him. I know that Chaves County is the only one in the state that the Treasurer's Office has been handling the bankruptcy cases, and everyone else suggests that, all of the other counties recommend that we hand those over to the county attorney so that he can process. And like I said, we did have a call with Stan yesterday, and the account in question was $300,000 that we are going to have to write off. In writing off that $300,000, that is potentially funds that could have gone to the school districts, to our universities, and so we're trying to avoid having to do such. And we think it would be in the best interest of the county if the county attorney would assume the bankruptcies that come to the Treasurer's Office.
You want questions?
Yes.
Commissioners, any questions for Charlotte?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Charlotte, is that 340,000, is that on land or livestock?
Actually, it involved two accounts, and what had happened, this was a bankruptcy that was filed in 2016. We did attach these two accounts. One was a business personal property, and the other was on livestock. And we did file those under our initial claim, the first and second claims that we submitted. However, for whatever reason, they were not taken off the tax roll, so we had to meet with the assessor's office and also, go through all of the filings. I personally went through all of the filings, and we have a file that's about this big. So what I did is I scanned the documents that I thought were relevant and forwarded those to Stan so he could take a look and just review the claims that we had submitted. And per his recommendation, because the bankruptcy has already been closed and we have no recourse at this point, so we are going to have to do tax roll corrections to remove that. And like I said, these are tax funds that could have been forwarded to or distributed to our taxing authorities.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Taylor?
Charlotte, of the delinquent accounts, you talked about 200 or something like that. How many of those are vacant lots? How many are unoccupied homes? And how many of those are actually occupied? Do you have any numbers on that as a breakdown?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, we have provided a list to all of the staff. We are dividing it up, and what we're doing is we're going out and tagging all of these mobile homes. And the assessor's staff is also going with us. So if there is a mobile home that is no longer habitable or has been burned down or destroyed, we're making notes so that we can remove that from the tax roll. So the 200 accounts, we are going through and just making sure that it is still in place, that it is habitable, that it's still in good condition, or that it's been moved. So we're making those notes. Right now, I cannot give you a breakdown because we're working on the rural areas to try and get those resolved and make sure that we have a clean mobile home list that we can assess property taxes on.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Charlotte, on the $300,000 in the bankruptcy, was that debt discharged in the bankruptcy?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, I did go through all of the filings, and I did find Chaves County to be on the list, but throughout all of the accounts, because we're talking maybe in total there were 30 accounts, and this is one of the dairies, and I could not find anywhere that we had received the proceeds from the bankruptcy. We were listed as one of the primary creditors, but I could not find anything. What I did find is that all of the properties were sold and handled by Landmark Title, and that I did share with Stan yesterday. But I did not find. I did look into the PACER system, which is the bankruptcy court system, and I could not find anything that showed that it was discharged or it was distributed. Funds were distributed. So that's as far as I've gotten. I did relay that information to Stan, so he thought, after reviewing everything that I had emailed him, that it would be dismissed by Chaves County, and we would have to do a tax roll correction to remove the livestock and the business personal property.
And if there are 15 others involved in bankruptcies, are those bankruptcies still open?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, majority of them have been closed, but this is a continuing issue that we have. Periodically, we will receive the bankruptcy notifications. Just one to point out is JCPenney. We did have that account in bankruptcy. We did do our claims, and I didn't check the file to see what the last filing was on that, but we do our best to try and maintain all of these bankruptcy accounts so that we can obtain the funds that are due to Chaves County. We're normally listed as one of the primary creditors on the accounts.
Thank you.
Commissioners, anything else? Charlotte, we had our every 2-3 month meeting with the city of Roswell early Tuesday morning. And we did have conversation about that property to the east of Nancy Lopez Elementary that the city has condemned. And I don't know if that was one of the 10. I'm hoping it was to be auctioned off on the courthouse steps. But the other thing that we looked at also was the property that is to the south of Nancy Lopez off of Atkinson. And that creates kind of an L that comes down along between that other property that's been condemned by the city. And there's a company, whatever the business entity they are, out of Colorado who actually owns that property. But when it was brought up on the screen, it showed that they hadn't paid any of their property taxes since I think it was 2018.
18.
So if you could look into that and see where we're at, because we'd hate for that property to get into the same situation that the property that the city had taken over and condemned because they can't find the person who actually owned the property from New York and apparently has passed away, but you had somebody who was acting as a landlord on that property and taking money from people when he didn't actually own the property. So I'd hate to see the same situation going on in this other property because it's very close, too close to the elementary school. And to see the activities that are going on there is really questionable. And so if we can look into that and make sure we put it under our microscope to make sure we don't have something wrong going there. So if you'd look into that, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I will. I did provide the information on that one lot that you had talked about previously as far as the city and what was due on that. I think I gave you a copy of that account.
Yes.
Okay, and I will follow up. Unfortunately, whenever we do have the delinquent accounts that we forward to the state, we do have a tax examiner here, and he has to go through the process and do the due diligence, and he has to do the title search and notify, the potential or the owner on record. And so that's a process. So a lot of the delinquent accounts that we have that have remained delinquent, we cannot move forward because the owner has not been identified, or there are other issues with that property. So they remain on our delinquent list until they fall off. Like I said, every 10 years that delinquent amount falls off of our accounts receivable list, and that's money that could have been distributed to our entities. So yes, I will follow up. The state tax examiner is working out of our office this week, or he has been here for some time now, and we'll follow up to identify that and see what we can do on that.
Okay, and thank you for that. And along those lines, Sheriff Charles, if you guys would kind of take a look at that property, because I know there's been some things that have happened over there, but got a bunch of trailers that have been moved in there and everything else, and I hate it's a safety issue, especially with us having an elementary school right there in that realm. So I appreciate everything you guys can do on that.
We will.
Okay.
Thank you. I am working diligently to make sure that I leave the office in 3 years with completely clean records, and we have everything up to date and current for the next treasurer that takes office. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thanks, Charlotte. I'll give Glenna an opportunity to do our due diligence. Ms. Georgia, come on down. I think we're going to look at like the first 6 items on our agenda here real quick.
How about 9? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. This morning, we are asking for ratification of approval for several agreements. The first 6 are between Chaves County and New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services on behalf of the Chaves County Joy Centers. They are agreements A21-008 through A21-013. There are 3 renovation projects involving the parking lots for the Roswell, Midway, and Lake Arthur Joy Centers. There's 1 kitchen equipment for the Roswell Joy Center, and the other 2 are for vehicles. So at this morning, we're asking for approval of those, the ratification of those, and these agreements total $701,395.
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Georgianne?
Mr. Chairman, I move ratification of agreements A-21-008 through 00013.
Okay.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Zell and a second by Commissioner Dana for agenda item, since A is for public hearings, agenda item B1, which is the ratification agreement A-21-08 between Chaves County, New Mexico and New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services for appropriation A20E5212. Agenda item B2, ratification Agreement A-21-009 between Chaves County and New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services for appropriation A20E5214. Is that supposed to be 0 or O?
0.
Okay. Agenda item 3, ratification agreement A-21-010 between Chaves County and New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services for appropriation A20E5211. Agenda item 4, ratification agreement A-21-011 between Chaves County and the New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services for appropriation A20E5210. Agenda item 5, ratification agreement A-21-012 between Chaves County and New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services for appropriation A-20E5213. And last but not least, agenda item 6, ratification agreement A-21-013 between Chaves County and the New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services for appropriation A-20E5209. Commissioners, any further questions or discussions on these 6? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. All right, keep going.
So items 7, 8, and 9 are agreements between Chaves County and the New Mexico Department of Finance Authority for agreements A-21-023, A-21-024, and A-21-025. These are appropriations for $200,000 for the walking trail, $350,000 for the PVRCC improvement project down here in Area D, and $600,000 for the historic window replacement, totaling $1,150,000. And we're asking for ratification of approval of those agreements.
Commissioners, any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I move ratification of agreements A-21-023-024 and -025 between Chaves County and New Mexico DFA.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Commissioner Zell and a second by Commissioner Dana to approve agenda item 7, ratification agreement A-21-023 between Chaves County and the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration for appropriation 21-F2689. And agenda item 8, a ratification agreement A-21-024 between Chaves County and the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration for appropriation number 21-F2683. And agenda item 9, ratification between A-21-025 between Chaves County and New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration for appropriation 21-F2690. Would you give me those figures again? What were the figures for agenda item 7?
$200,000,
$200,000 for agenda item 7,
$350,000 for agenda item number 8,
$350,000 for the agenda item 8,
and $600,000 for agenda item number 9.
and then $600,000 for agenda item 9, for a total of $1,150,000, correct?
That is correct.
Commissioners, any further questions or discussion for George? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
You for all your hard work on all these.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 10 is requesting a lease for a 770G John Deere motor grader for the road department. The money was approved in the 21-22 fiscal year budget. The contract will be with Four Rivers Equipment Company. The total cost on a road grader is $274,806.26, which translates to a lease payment of $3,508.35 a month. There is a purchase option at the end of this lease for $115,971. Staff would recommend the approval of the lease and the approval of agreement number 21-036 to lease the equipment.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill?
What's the lease term?
The lease is, do you know, Joe? 5?
5 years.
Yeah. It's the one thing I forgot to write down on here. I got it from Sandra this morning.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Bilberry?
I recommend approval of agreement A-21-036 for the lease of a motor grader.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bilberry and a second by Commissioner Taylor to approve Agenda Item 10, which is the approval of Agreement A-21-036 for the lease of a motor grader. Any other questions or discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Ezell.
I think it's a slight conflict of interest for Commissioner Bilberry to make that motion when the grader might get parked at his house.
Mr.
like
Chairman,
shiny
we
things.
took care of that. It's going to be on my property this time. We didn't want the conflict of
I
interest.
do have a question for Joe. Will there be another motor grader coming out of lease since you're leasing this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They'll pass.
They just pass each other?
Joe, I would tell you could park it by Commissioner Taylor's house, but that probably wouldn't work. Anyway, no further questions or discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 11 is an agreement between Chaves County and AMR Ambulance Service as the IHC provider. American Medical Response Ambulance is the new ambulance provider for Roswell and Chaves County, and Chaves County has prepared this agreement to accept American Medical Response Ambulance as a provider for indigent health care, so they can be reimbursed at the indigent health care rate, and staff would recommend approval on that.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill?
There is a different contract for IHC work as opposed to regular?
Yeah, the city and county have a mutual contract where we actually hired the ambulance provider. It used to be Superior, and last year we went through an RFP process and we hired American Air Ambulance, and you'll see here in a couple of minutes we're also going to have a new Medevac air ambulance, the same thing. This is just to agree that they would agree to accept the IHC amounts for any indigent persons who would use the ambulance.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Agreement A-21-045 between AMR Ambulance IHC provider.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Ezell to approve Agenda Item 11, which is Agreement A-21-045 with AMR Ambulance IHC provider. I don't know if I stated that correctly, but we know what it is. Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, again, American Medical Response Ambulance is the new ambulance provider for Roswell and Chaves County, and AMR currently has the ability to quickly dispatch and cover the northern part of Roswell, and they're requesting this lease of 1,600. Love that song. They're requesting to lease 1,600 Southeast Main Suite E, which we've leased in the past. It's vacant now. So that they'll be able to respond to southern Roswell and into the valley more efficiently. And we agree that having an ambulance substation office on the south side of McGaffey will greatly improve their ability to respond. Staff recommends approval. The amount of the lease will be $1,325 per month.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill on this lease?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of lease agreement A-21-046 between Chaves County and AMR Ambulance, Inc.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Zell and a second by Commissioner Bilberry to approve agenda item 12. It's a lease agreement A-21-046 between Chaves County and the AMR Ambulance Incorporated for $1,325 a month. Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 13 is for Trans-Aero Medevac, who are the new air ambulance provider for Roswell and Chaves County. Chaves County has prepared this agreement to accept Trans-Aero Medevac as a provider for indigent health care so that they can be reimbursed at the IHC rate, and staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of agreement A-21-047 for Trans-Aero Medevac IHC provider.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bilberry and a second by Commissioner Taylor to approve agenda item 13, which is agreement A-21-047 with Trans-Aero Medevac IHC provider. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 14 is for Resolution R21-049, approving a change to Personnel Chart H. This resolution incorporates the change to Chart H, which downgrades the Safety and Compliance Officer position. Chart H has been changed to reflect this classification. Along with this, we would also like to request approval of position specifications for the HR Director position, and staff recommends approval of the resolution and would also request that you approve the position specification for HR.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill? Bill, real quick, what are the, have you put together the human resources position specifications yet?
Yes, they're attached here. Just some very minor changes to the actual position description specification, and we hope that we can go out. I don't know if we'll get it out tomorrow, but certainly by next week we intend to ask for applicants both in-house and locally.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions for Bill on this?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of Resolution R-21-049, approving change to Personnel Chart H.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Taylor to approve agenda item 14, Resolution R-21-049, approving change to Personnel Chart H. Any other questions or discussion?
And also the HR specifications, if you would.
Okay, and also the human resources position specifications. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. All right. We get someone different to talk to us now.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Agenda item number 15 is Resolution R-21-050, which is a deletion of property and proposed disposition. Your approval of this resolution will allow staff to remove the attached inventory. Exhibit A has all the assets listed. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Lucia?
Didn't see anything I needed, Mr. Chairman, so I'll move that we approve Resolution R-21-050, deletion of property and proposed disposition.
Second.
And a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Bilberry to approve agenda item 15, Resolution R-21-050, deletion of property and proposed disposition. Commissioners, any further questions, discussion? We keep getting rid of stuff every month. When are we going to stop deleting?
We are cleaning house. We're
Okay.
trying to clean house, try to get rid of the stuff that we're not using anymore. I did want to add, our old courthouse windows are on the website, the county, or the auction website. If you guys would like to purchase a little bit of history, it's there for sale, so it's up posted for 14 days. I posted them on Monday, so.
So,
if you guys are
and
interested.
along with that, Commissioners, that there's a letter of authenticity for those windows that have our commissioner seal on it, those windows. Excuse me. So, anyway. And seeing no further questions or discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
We ought to send one of the windows to Judge Johnson.
Yes. The window, yeah. All right, Mac.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Agenda item 16 for your consideration is Resolution R-21-051 and Agreement A-21-048 between Chaves County and New Mexico Department of Transportation. Our road department received a grant award in the amount of $231,692.79 from the State Transportation Project Fund. This grant has a required local match of $12,194.36, or 5% of the total project cost. This funding will go towards micro surfacing on county arterial roads, West McGaffey Country Club, and Lorinda. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Mac?
Mr. Chair, I move approval of Resolution R-21051 and Agreement A-21048 for our participation in the DOT Transportation Project Fund Program.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Commissioner Zell and a second by Commissioner Dana to approve Agenda Item 16, Resolution R-21-051 and Agreement A-21-048 for participation in Transportation Project Fund Program administered by the New Mexico Department of Transportation. Any further questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, it's me again. Agenda item number 17 is requesting permission to publish for a public hearing regarding ordinance number O-109, which would be held Thursday, November the 18th at 9 a.m. at Chaves County Commission chambers during the regular commission meeting. This new ordinance relates to agreements between Chaves County and the New Mexico Local Economic Development Department pertaining to the Ascent Aviation Project at the Roswell Air Center. So this is the ordinance we have to put into place to accept the LEDA funds for the Ascent Hangar project. Of course, staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill?
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I'd like to add the actual ordinance will be written prior to that meeting so that the public can take a look at it and make any suggestions. But it would be very similar to the one we did with USA Beef, just outlining the terms and allowing people to speak about it. Thank you.
As Commissioner Bobby Corn would say, what's your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of I guess the staff requesting permission to publish for public hearing regarding the LEDA and ordinance of number 0-109.
Second.
And a motion by Commissioner Bilberry and a second by Commissioner Zell to approve Agenda Item 17 for requesting permission to publish for a public hearing regarding LEDA and ordinance number, should that be 0 or O?
It would be O.
O-109. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Who's spending money today?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of checks in the amount of $2,199,318.54.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion by Commissioner Taylor and a second by Commissioner Dana to approve checks to the amount of $2,199,318.54. Any further questions or discussion on this amount? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Approval of reports.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve reports.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Dana, a second by Commissioner Bilberry to approve the reports on this beautiful October day. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. All right, we have come to our unscheduled communications limited to 3 minutes per visitor, not to exceed 15 minutes. No formal action will be taken by the commission. Well, come on down. Well, you could say something that would add to his conversation. You need to put your orange back on, though. I know you're celebrating the Astros, okay?
Actually, I'm praying that we're going to win the game.
I know. You don't have to wear it. I just said bring it up.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Rita Kane Dorhofer, very narrow, unstriped Mark Road. Keep Chaves County Beautiful has been very, very busy in the last couple of weeks. Number one, I need to talk about the people that I deal with or who have to deal with me. Poor George. George, I don't know why that lady does not have gray hair. 5.5 hours she dealt with me. We were ordering stuff and paying for stuff and making a worksheet out. Anyway, that was 5.5 hours.
Do we need to get her some counseling?
Probably. Then I dealt with Sandra for 2 hours. And by the way, all of your supplies are with Sandra. She has trash bags, she has gloves, she has pickers, she has large rubber bands. None of this is a donation. It is loaned to Chaves County. So if you go around and you're picking up trash on the walkway or wherever you see, you have the proper equipment.
Do we have to return the trash bags?
What? No, you don't. That was my next thing. You do not return the trash bags. Poor Glenna is out there picking up trash with her bare hands. Anyway.
Get her some gloves.
And there's 2 different types of gloves. We have neoprene gloves because the queen of trash is allergic to latex. And so we do not order latex. Also, we have 2 new partners with Keep Chaves County Beautiful. That means I'm going to limit the number of money that we're going to spend. We are going to be partnering with the Fair Board. I know the lady that's in charge of beautification on the Fair Board, and she kind of cornered me when I went over there to pick up my ribbons for my baked goods. And so we're partnering with them, and we're also partnering with the Joy Center. I'm on the board of the Joy Center, and they are in desperate need of trees and other things. We donated 3 trees to them last year, as you remember. Okay, you don't, but that's fine. I was out there. Anyway, Also, there are some other people that have had to deal with me, especially this past week. And by the way, because I was not here last commission meeting, you moved the health department ahead of that very scary bridge on Brasher Road. Have you driven that at 6:15 in the morning to go out to the road department with a truck and a trailer? It is very scary when it is very dark. Anyway, the road department. I can't say enough about the road department. By the way, Commissioner Bilberry, they love my bread also. They got after it. We had 30 trash bag cartons that were delivered there and recycling. I don't know what we're going to do about recycling yet. We haven't decided. I know the sheriff's got 2 of our units. I gave 2 units over to Mesa Middle School yesterday. They're going to do recycling. I'm doing a program at the Boys and Girls Club for recycling. It's very difficult to recycle when we're not recycling here. Then, we have character counts, which is Saturday, which we will be helping them with their trash needs. We did the chili cheese. We're doing the Honda for Walk for Hope. We're delivering trash bags and trash cans. Then I met with the facility maintenance manager twice this week. Yes. Okay. What can I say? We're working on beautifying the courthouse and some of the vacant spots out there. Also, I have some very sad news. Oh, before I give you the very, very sad news, by the way, the only team that the Cubs beat are the Dodgers this year. So 2 of you owe me. The rest I owe you. All right, here's the very, very, very bad news. We're not going to the Keep America Beautiful conference this year. Our executive director has some issues, some medical issues, and when I called them and I got an email from them yesterday, they will not help the treasurer of Keep Chaves County Beautiful with her disabilities. So they will not pay for any of the disabilities. It will not be on visual, so we will not be at the meeting. This is the first meeting that we have not been at in a very, very long time. And it may affect our standings. You know, we've gotten the Presidential Award every single year for what we do, but we are not going to the meeting. I have asked several of our board members if they want to go, and the response was that hell no, George? Close to hell no. I want to go, but I just can't unless they can put up some more money for how I have to travel and how I have to stay. I guess that's all of what I have. I guess that's it. Does anybody have any questions for Keep Chaves County Beautiful? We are out there. We are beating the bushes. I talked at the skin doctor's office yesterday. I saw a young boy. I approached him. He is with the basketball team in Dexter. He is going to talk to his coach, and we're going to do a cleanup in Dexter. So anybody that needs a cleanup except for Commissioner Bilberry. I have no idea where you live, and I'd probably get lost, and probably my Garmin will not send me to where you are.
I can tell you how to get there.
I'm sure you can. But anyway, so we are looking to spend our money. We are not doing the mural. And we're moving the money. I think we decided, George, I wasn't paying too close attention at the meeting. We're giving that money to see if we can't get cameras.
We are going to try to do a budget adjustment request to purchase cameras. However, we have to do some adjustments on the quotes that we received.
No, don't say we. It's you. It's you. It's not. I can sit there and watch you do it, but I'm not doing it. We had a very good meeting. I sit on the ETZ board. I'm sure that half of the board members, which wish that I wasn't on there because I always have 20, 30 questions for every, why are you laughing? I take pride in doing that. So if nobody has any questions for me or any cleanups, your supplies will be, Sandra's having the supplies. Thank you.
So
You
let
have
me
a good
just,
day.
let me just say,
Okay, I can do that because they are going to recycle up until the end of this month. So I will, I'm in my SUV today. We'll get them in the SUV. Well, okay. Anyway, so if nobody has,
no
yes.
questions. I just I want to say thank you. Yes, you exceeded your 3 minutes, but we did need to get a report on the Keep Chaves County Beautiful, so I just want to explain that, and that we'll still have 12 minutes for other participants to speak. And I'm really sorry that you were threatened by that Fair Board member because she had you cornered.
She did, she
when
had me
When someone
cornered.
corners you, that's kind of being a threatening.
Well,
Is that Calder?
That's Representative Candy. I've known her for years.
And she's not a Fair Board member.
She's not a Fair Board. We were talking about the trees and the landscaping there, which is almost as horrible as some of the properties in Chaves County. But we're going to see what we can do about writing a special grant for getting beautification at the Fair Board.
All right.
At the fair grounds, whatever you call it.
Thank you. And you did have to bring up the fact that you beat the Dodgers this year. Thank you again.
You're welcome, anytime. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Go Cardinals.
Okay. Anybody else in the audience? Anybody else? Larry, I know you have some comments for us, and you are greatly appreciated. The Mayor of Starbucks, please state your name and address for the record.
Larry Connolly, 2815 in Canto. I'm totally speechless after Rita. Thank you.
Larry, the mayor of Starbucks had a birthday this month also, by the way, and so happy belated birthday to you.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So,
Chairman, Commissioners, I'm up here today to thank a couple agencies that came out and worked the fair for no money.
let me stop you for just a second, Sheriff. Just so for the record, everybody knows that Mike Harrington, the sheriff of Chaves County, is at the microphone right now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll just put Sheriff Mike Harrington, number 1 St. Mary's Place. I hope to be here for quite a while longer. But more importantly, I want to thank some agencies that came out and worked the fair for free. And that is the New Mexico Mounted Patrol and the Dexter Fire Department. They put in hours from the time that fair opened the gate until it closed the gate. They were there every single day. The Mounted Patrolman had 9 guys out there. I know that the Dexter Volunteer Fire Department had guys everywhere as well. Also, adult probation and parole was out there. My deputies were out there. They did a great job. This fair was probably one of the safest places you could be in Chaves County for that entire week. We had the protection was out there. People respected it, and we did have a few incidents, but compared to what we've dealt with in the past and what we've seen outside those gates, it was relatively calm. So I do want to thank everybody for that. I also want to let you know that the Chaves County Sheriff Department is on schedule right now of being completely or fully manned by the first of the year. So that's going to be good. So we just got 2 laterals that I just hired within the last month. We also have another one that's coming who is certified, and he'll be hopefully going through the process, be done, and then I'm interviewing 3 today, or 2 today, 1 tomorrow. that look really good, and that will completely put us at full manning if everything goes the way that we are praying that it does. So right now, everything's going well. We will have the deputy, I believe, within the next 2 or 3 weeks, that will start walking the hallways of the Chaves County complex here, and that's going to be done every hour. They'll be in this hallway, going back and forth, visiting with everybody, and making sure that this building is safe. So I want to thank you, each one of you, for everything that you've done to help me achieve this, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Sheriff, thank you.
Yep, thank you very much.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Joe, you have any reports? Dead silence back there. Thank you. That's a good thing. Louis? Since this is all done. Opened a can of worms.
Okay, so looking, Chairman, Commissioners, good morning. Looking through our website and checking with the census and the number of newspapers and other media outlets that have reported numerous numbers. It seems that Roswell has come up with 48,422 for our Census 2020 number. That is a positive of 56. Of course, as you know, what's that? I'm sorry.
What was 48,000 what?
48,422.
And where did we finish?
Chaves County overall finished at 65,147. That was down by 498 people. I do not have a report for Dexter, Hagerman, or Lake Arthur. I'm sorry. Still trying to search those out.
Okay, awesome. I think our demographer, as we're putting our redistricting together, will probably have some firm numbers, I hope.
Yes.
So, anyway, thanks, Louis. Are you keeping our internet safe? Thank you. All right, anybody else? Anybody else?
Can we block Ningio? Damn it. Commissioner Bilberry wanted me to ask.
Bill Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I think Lucia did a great job, but I'm going to do the plug too. Buy your courthouse windows here. We're going to do a certificate of occupancy. You can find them on GovDeals.
Authenticity, yeah.
Where?
GovDeals.com.
GovDeals.com.
Yes, and don't wait till the last minute because you'll have to sign up to bid and all that. But these windows are the iconic windows from our Chaves County Courthouse. Every brochure, photograph, other documents that have come out over the last 100 years show these windows on the dome. And later on, we'll have some from the third floor, the front facade. Currently, there's some other windows that you don't see in every photograph, but they're priced accordingly, and they all come with a letter with a stamp that says Chaves County Commission right on it to show that they actually are windows from our historic courthouse, and kind of a neat thing for people to continue to reminisce about our county and think of all the good things that have happened here. It's just a great thing, and it's better than throwing them in the trash. There were a lot of people interested, and we want to be sure that they get an opportunity to bid on those.
Are we going to donate one of those to the Southeastern New Mexico Historical Museum?
We can check with them and see if they would like it. They're limited on space, but we have talked about putting one in the courthouse historical area, along with the jail door and the other neat stuff that's in there. So get your windows and keep watching, because there will be more. Along with that, want to thank all the Chaves County departments. They've all been doing great things and good stuff. but I want to specifically mention a few of those. The clerks, they've been really busy with the voting and, of course, continuing to maintain their operations, do a great job like they always do. We heard from Charlotte and the assessor's office this morning. We know that they stay really busy all the time as well. Want to thank the road department. I got a card this morning from someone who was so thankful for all the great work that they did on their road. They talked about how good the quality was and how good the staff was. And I passed that on to Joe so he can let his people know. But people do notice all the great work you guys do, and thank you. Also know that you guys are wrapping up on your chip seal, probably finished with your chip seal, but you have some other projects that you're going to be working on here in the next few weeks. I want to thank the Sheriff's Department. They were kind of busy working for Chaves County a couple of weeks ago. We had an inmate escape the jail. He got into an area that he didn't need to be into. The cells, the pods have hard concrete ceilings. He managed to get into a place that had a reinforced ceiling. However, it was not unpenetrable, I guess. Facility maintenance got out there. They got it repaired. It's reinforced. No one's going through that ceiling again. We found a couple of other items that we took care of in addition to that, just to make sure that nothing like that ever happens in that area. But I did want to thank the Sheriff's Department. All of their staff did a great job, but in particular, Deputy Parmer, Deputy Conklin worked their tails off on this thing and literally didn't rest until that guy was caught the following day out on Portales Road. And I want to thank them for working so hard to get that done. The last thing I want to bring up is, we've been working with the Carlsbad Resource Management Plan for several years, trying to take care of our concerns within Chaves County with lands with wilderness characteristics. 50 years ago, lands were inventoried and they determined that they weren't pristine enough to be a wilderness area. So fast forward 50 years and now they're trying to put lands into lands with wilderness characteristics and areas of critical environmental concern that didn't even meet those requirements 50 years ago. And we know that there's been all kinds of things that have changed, pipelines running through there, lots of issues. And so we've been vocal about that. And then we found out this week that the Lincoln County Forest, Lincoln National Forest, is doing their forest management plan, which they do, that should last for the next 10 to 15 years. Guess what? They've got the lands with wilderness characteristics right in there that overlap into Chaves County. And so it looks like maybe there's kind of an end run going on to get the lands with wilderness characteristics put through in a different manner. But again, they're supposed to work with local government to make sure that this happens, that we have a seat at the table. This is the first I found out about it. So, and I know Commissioner Bilberry's been working on this a lot, and he probably has a lot more. But that's all that I have to say. Just we have to continue to watch out with the federal government trying to take away the rights of private landowners and leaseholders and those types of things here in our county. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Bill. Commissioner Taylor, words of wisdom.
Thank you.
Concern.
I'd just like to say a big thank you to Rita Dorhofer for all her volunteer work and her efforts on keeping this county beautified. Rita, thank you. And as a loyal Dodger, I did bet with you, so we will have lunch together one day here this next week or two. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Commissioner Dana.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to thank Rita, too. Thank you very much for all you do. Gosh, driving around, it's amazing how trashy people can be. I drove down, coming in today on Darby, someone pushed a washing machine off the side of the road. So I talked to Joe. Thank you very much. Once again, the road department has to come in and clean up. But I want to say thank you to Joe and your crew for the new compactor pad and everything that's going to be out there. Someone's been out there just about every day handing out, again, a flyer what to put in to the compactors, what not to put in. And so I know one of my constituents chewed him out, so it wasn't his fault. He stood there and took it. And then my constituent called me and said, well, I just chewed your guy out. And I said, well, why'd you do that? He's just standing out there trying to make sure people throw away what they're supposed to throw away. You know, we can't legislate how people act. We can't do that. And so I'm hoping the new compactor and will kind of help alleviate some of the problems that we have in Midway. I really appreciate that. People like to see progress in what their tax dollars are doing, and that's a great visual. This is what we're doing. We're trying to alleviate this problem. Thank you, Mike, for having the security out there. I was able to work the first night of the fair in the fair booth, and then I had to head over to Alamogordo. My dad got put in the hospital, so I was only there for the one day, but sure was nice to see everybody walking around and enjoying, and everybody had a good time and was actually not having to worry about what's going to happen there, you know, family. So I really appreciate that. And it's a nice visual. When you see that many law enforcement out, people know that the presence is there. So I appreciate that too. So, but thank you to everybody. I found the windows. Thank you. It took me a while, but I muddled through, so I appreciate that. That'll be fun. I think it'll be great. And I think contacting the Historical Society or putting one in our little museum or something, maybe. You know, I think it's a neat idea. It's a great DIY project. So y'all, ladies, get your windows for your DIY project. But thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Zell.
Congratulations to the road department for their great work on that chip sealing project. I think I was probably contacted by the same person you were, but just over the top appreciation for you and your staff. Congratulations also to the sheriff and the sheriff's department. Thank you for keeping the county safe. If you will allow me to put my Fair Board hat on. Thank you for the great work out there, especially Charles, Lieutenant Mason. Lieutenant Mason gave me his phone number. He said, I'm the guy these nights. If anything pops up, you give me a call. I was actually present for one of the very few arrests that were made, and it was done professionally, and just my hat's off to you. Thank you so much. And other than that, whoops, she left. I was going to thank our finance department, even though she didn't even have to say anything today. But again, thanks to everybody that keeps this ship afloat. You're doing a great job. Thank you. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. She's supposed to give us an update on our GRT for this month.
I'm sure she's working on the SLATE project.
Okay. Commissioner Bilberry.
Just want to thank all department heads and thankful for everybody in this county and what you do, and everything that's already been said. I just reflect that, comment on what Bill talked about the like wilderness characteristics. That's, I mean, I think that thing's going to be ongoing for a long time till we have some changes in our federal government departments. But anyway, I thank you for checking in on all that. We've got some constituents down in that part of the county that have called me and are pretty stirred up about what could happen to their ranching operations down there. So anyway, we just need to keep an eye on it, and we'll work hard and diligently at that. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. So Rita, what I can't figure out, I mean, of course, the Cubs didn't play the Astros this year, but the Dodgers win 106 games this season, but have a losing record to you guys.
Yes, we beat them 4 out of 7 games.
I know. No, believe me, I know. I paid attention to it. I just can't understand. Dodger fan at the other end, can you tell me how that happened?
Well, they were playing the Cubs. It was probably the
They
B
took
team.
a few nights off. They left their bats home that night or something, you know, just had a bad day.
Okay. So, anyway, so I hate to be lengthy, but this has been October and late September have really been some busy time for us here and for myself. First of all, the fair, I think everything went great with the fair and the parade. Thanks, Mike, and to all of our first responders. I guess, Commissioner Zell, if you could put your fair board hat back on and tell me what happened with the presence from the Roswell Police Department, the Roswell Fire Department. They just decided not to show up, or?
Basically.
Okay. We won't go any deeper because I've heard rumors and I'm sure that they're probably substantiated. So anyway, that's a shame because this is a community that serves all of our constituents and goes over and beyond doing that, and it doesn't have a dollar amount to go with it. It's all about serving this community. With that being said, we've had I've been part of New Mexico County Board of Directors meeting this month. Went to Utah for our WIR and NACO meetings, and a lot of discussion has gone on in those meetings with the 30/30 plan, or as they've called it now, the America the Beautiful. And Margaret Byfeld, who everybody here has heard from over the years, gave a great presentation, and as she always does, showing the concerns that we all should have, and most of us do have, out west of the Mississippi. And she gave her presentation, and the assistant director of the Utah BLM, the actual director, was supposed to be the one to do the presentation, but I think he saw that Margaret was giving her presentation first and had the assistant director do it instead, because her presentation was read from a script, and everything that we're concerned about is coming to fruition. And in particular in the state of Utah, they've brought back the bear's ears. They've taken the grand staircase and taken it and enlarged the land that they're eating up and taking away from the state of Utah for that. And that's just one of the tools that the federal government and state government have in their toolbox to fulfill this plan that they have. We're already seeing it here in the state of New Mexico. Obviously, the Chaves County Board of Commissioners have already passed 2 resolutions in opposition to the federal 30/30 plan and the governor's 30/30 plan. But that doesn't mean much, because right away, straight out of the chute, the Game and Fish Department has purchased, is it 75,000 acres from the Pimpkin?
7,000 acres. There's about 10,000 acres
altogether. Just to the north of us, northeast of Fort Sumner, and that's just the beginning. And so the concerns that we have, and Commissioner Bilberry has addressed it a little bit, Bill has addressed it a little bit, but we will be spending time talking with Jim Stovall and Chuck Schmidt from the BLM here in the near future, because anybody who's paid attention to our meetings over the last 8 years, the Carlsbad RMP has always been something that we've been really concerned with, because they want to create these like wilderness areas and these ACEC areas and these things that will shut down our ranchers and farmers and oil and gas and all the other type of economic development that we have. here in southeastern New Mexico. And that Carlsbad RMP also affects Eddy County and Lee County. And they've had to go back to the drawing board again now that we have a new administration. And most likely you'll have a lot of the environmentalists that will be involved with it, and you'll probably see more of those areas, as Bill alluded to, that are not like wilderness areas because they weren't 50 years ago. And in the 50 years that we've gone forward, there's been more activity, more pipelines and things of that nature that have gone on in these areas, where creating those like wilderness areas are really not possible unless you want to change the description of what like wilderness areas are. Lincoln County, the forest, I mean, it's all part of the same issue, and really and truly, this isn't going to affect east of the Mississippi. This is going to affect west of the Mississippi. And every state and every county on the west side is going to have to be paying attention to this. And it's not just the land; it's the waters. It's a real concern. Brian Steed gave a report to us at our meeting in Utah, and he said it as well as anybody else. If the government, federal government, the state governments would just be forthcoming with what their intentions are, you would take a lot of the anxiety off of local government. And they say they're going to work with us, but I don't know how much they have to work with us when they're purchasing private land and eating that up. And the federal government has a lot of money. The state government at this point in time have a lot of money, and so they can buy and do what they want to with private land. Grazing rights. Great question that was asked by one of our commissioners at our board meeting in Mexico County is, what's going to happen to my the lands that I have leased for grazing? Well, if the government decides to make those like wilderness areas or create habitats, then you're not going to have that grazing land that you normally have. Up north in Union County, that neighbor who is normally leasing land to you for grazing for $10 an acre says, the federal government has offered me $30 an acre not to lease this to you for grazing. The federal government has the money to do things like that and to hamper our ranchers and our farmers and the subsidies that have been given to our folks in the dairy business over the years. Well, I think that those dairies are losing those subsidies, and so now they're feeling the wrath of that, and they're struggling with their contracts with whatever entity that they have to deliver milk. We're seeing that in our grocery stores, not just around here, but around the nation. And so we better be really paying attention. It's going to be tough. We're going to have to grind it out. And I know I made a statement to Mike earlier that our workforce is not where it should be right now. And a lot of that has to do with our government, our federal and state government. We're losing a lot of healthcare workers. We're losing law enforcement. Anybody who's being mandated to take these vaccines that they're really not sure about them yet. And once again, I'll say I've been vaccinated. I made that choice. But that was my choice and not the government's choice. Okay? And so we've got to get back to some common sense and some reality in this country, or we're going to be in some real trouble. With that, I'm going to come to a close. I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Everything that our commissioners have said to everybody in this room and about this county. Chaves County is an absolutely amazing family, and families always take care of one another and have each other's backs. And when we have problems, we work them out. We take care of them. I will say, and I left this out for a moment, but Jason Perry, who's the mayor pro tem for the city of Roswell, and I have been working diligently. We've asked the governor, because it will come from the governor's office. We've each asked for $5 million for infrastructure and to have improvements out at the air center. That air center, I'm telling you, and I'll say it, I'll say it, I'll say it, I'll say it. That is the diamond in the rough for southeastern New Mexico and for even into West Texas. It really is. And if we can get things and get money put into it, then we're not going to be worried about 50,000. We're going to be looking at 100,000. And I know that scares some people because of our local infrastructure, our housing and water and all those other things. But if we really want to see Chaves County and Roswell and southeastern Mexico grow, that's the place that it's going to make that long-term growth for this area. And so Jason and I have worked, and we're going to next week have a joint resolution with the city and the county to support that $10 million in the governor's office when this session starts. A lot of money up there, a lot of money for roads and infrastructure and everything else. And the other thing that we're really going to push for is, I know we've gotten 380 from Roswell to the state line. We've at least gotten that to where we're going to have passing lanes. But it would be really something if we could get it to be 4 lanes from Roswell to the state line. That's a pretty big wish list on that because our roads are expensive. But for safety and economic, it really needs to happen. So with that, God bless Chaves County, God bless this state, God bless America, and God bless all of you. And we are going to take a motion to go into closed session.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to section 10-11-1.
-15.
I'm sorry, -15-1-8. Do I need to go ahead and read the rest of it?
Yes.
For personnel matters, collective bargaining, and discussion of threatened or pending litigation.
Do I have a second? Second. And a motion by Commissioner Bilberry and a second by Commissioner Ezell to go into closed session pursuant to section 10-15-1-H2 NMSA 1978 personnel matters, 10-15-1H5 collective bargaining, 10-15-1H7 to discuss threatened or pending litigation. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Dana?
Yes.
Commissioner Ezell?
Yes.
Commissioner Bilberry?
Yes.
Commissioner Cabot?
Yes. All right. Thank you. We will go into closed session now, and then we will come out of closed session and sign documents and adjourn. Thank you all for being here. If you're here when we get out, we'll look forward to seeing you and visiting after.
And don't forget to pick up your trash supplies.
How you doing?